Hey guys, welcome out to the next stop on Sunday. Bit overcast. Think we're going to go out today and do a bit of bird watching. So we're just going to concentrate on one little strip down at Narragansett, and that's the Kookaburra Foot Trail. And I'm just going to hang there probably for a couple of hours and basically just sit at a few places for a couple of hours. That's the way that you spot the best birds, because they get used to you being there. And wear some dull sort of neutral colours kind of helps as well. So let's head off on the next stop today with Keezy, the swamp man from the Gange. And remember, hit that like button and subscribe button, and give us some comments on YouTube. Wayne Key's Next Stop Wildlife Show. Okay, let's get out of here, see what we've got on the next stop, folks. A doozy. Not real good weather. Make the best of it, folks. Let's get out of here. And we're at Snake Alley, just at the junction of Snake Alley and the famous log at Narragansett, mate. And yeah, just beautiful, this place. What's that I see? I see a brown snake. Is it an eastern water dragon? What's that? Here it is. Let's go, folks. Woo! Yeah! And I crawl back. Okay, now let's get out of here. The leg's not busted yet, so let's go, guys.
This is the grey fantail of the Cumberland Plains. What an acrobatic flyer this guy is, and they feed on little insects and flies, and he's just taken off and he's flying around in circles. Hopefully you'll get down onto this log again. Next stop, we have the olive-backed oriole. Gorgeous bird with beautiful red eyes, and this guy's just made his way down to the side of the creek, and he's in all of the really thick habitation near the bushland there. And we've got a yellow-faced honey eater next up here. Hard to make out in the shadows, but yeah, it's a yellow-faced honey eater, this one. Here he is again, just hopping around the tree. And we've got the beautiful silver eyes next up. The silver eyes are such a tiny little bird, and they like getting in the really thick vegetation. Here's a couple here, another couple of beautiful silver eyes. Magic bird these guys are, and a staple. The bird watching, it doesn't slow down. And oh, what a magic find this was. The crested shrike tit, and you can see him just making his way along that branch, and he'll peck off all of the bark, and he'll find little hollow trees that have died. He knows exactly where to get the little grubs and insects that he likes. Another beautiful little bird there. And here is the yellow-faced honey eater again. You can see all of that bark peeling off the trees there, and that's where he likes to feed, just under that bark. You can actually hear these guys, and the crested shrike tit as well. You just have to listen for them picking at the bark. Ah, look at this beautiful red-browed finch. They're just awesome. Here's another silver eye. Just caught up with him down by the creek here. He's not far from the creek, actually. He's only about a foot off the water, just hanging there feeding on some little insects. Up he moves into the tree here a little bit higher. He'll just sniff around and see what he can come up with in that tree too. A lot of small birds in the Kookaburra Foot Trail, and I had to go back and see this beautiful crested shrike tit. And you can see him here. This is the type of vegetation he likes to feed on. You can see that stick's dead, and he knows that the middle has been hollowed out, and there's little bugs and grubs in there, so he'll just peel back the bark from there and other bark from the trees. You'll see him here how he's peeling back that bark, and they've got a really strong beak, which Matty Vella, Bluey in the bush, he knows all about, because One day when he was a young bloke, he actually grabbed one of these guys to have a closer look at it, and his dad had one that hadn't been well, so they'd fixed him up, and he decided he wanted to grab hold and have a close look, and he reckons it's one of the worst feelings he's ever had. They must have a real strong beak, these guys. So yeah, you can see him just peeling back that bark, and he'll get to that hollow inside there, and there'll be little grubs and other things there he'll be feeding off. So we just followed him along, this guy, and just doing his thing, seeing how he feeds. Just thought I'd share with you today a little bit of this guy in his natural habitat and doing his natural thing that he does on a daily basis. Yeah, I've seen him pull out a few little grubs and other things, tiny little insects. He just pecks them off as he goes. Yeah, the instinct of nature. They know exactly where to look. And what a beautiful bird. You can see he's got a little crest on the top of his head. When he gets excited or alarmed, he'll put that little comb up on top of his head. That's how they got the name, the crested shrike tit. Absolutely beautiful bird. I love the colours on it. And I've been trying to track down this guy for so long to get some footage of him. I've got footage of him before, but not at Narragansett. So it's a first getting the footage here in Narragansett. And just great following these guys around and watching their daily habits. Just, you learn a lot, you really do. You can see him. He just keeps peeling back that bark, and that's what I was talking about, those hollow little twigs that have died. And there we have it. There's the pair of them there. It's like the male just here. Slightly more colourful and a little bit bigger comb on the top, a little bit bigger crest. Just find his way up that twig, and he'll peel back all that bark, and eventually you'll find the little grub that's in there. It's a beautiful animal. So if you get the time, Kookaburra Foot Trail down at Narragansett Reserve at Doonside, it's an absolute bottler. Just have to make sure you take the time, be pretty quiet, and stay in the one area for quite some time. They get really used to you, the birds, and they sense that you mean them no harm or danger, and they'll just behave in their natural way, which is great to watch. That's why we come down into the wild and see these animals. Just magic. You can see he must have a pretty strong beak, as Bluey said, because he peels back the bark, and I've seen him peel back a lot of other bigger bark and harder trees with no problem whatsoever. So he got a little morsel out of there. Oh, there he is. And they like this thicker vegetation or anywhere where there's peeling bark. So if you keep your ears out, you'll actually hear these guys peeling the bark off the trees if you're nice and quiet. There's another tip with bird watching. You listen very carefully, and when you hear even the noisy miners making their calls, you know that there's a bird of prey or something else around of interest. Oh, next up, gorgeous, one of the favourites of the Cumberland Plains and favourite bird in the world, one of them, the eastern rosella. One of the birds that is a staple down here from the wetlands. So on the next stop, we just pulled up the Cumberland Express to show you a bit of footage of one of the most beautiful birds on the Cumberland. And everyone knows this guy, the symbol of the Rosella company and famous Aussie company. And they're an absolutely beautiful bird. Look at those aqua blues down the tips of the wings and down the tail, and the patterning on the back. Absolutely magnificent, these birds. And they love those little seeding plants, and yeah, this one's got quite territorial over that hollow there. There's been a butcher bird that's been trying to take over, and I noticed he actually flew back and took on the butcher bird to defend his hollow, which is unusual for the rosella. They're quite a placid bird usually, but not when you try and take their hollow. Oh, magic. Look at the patterns on the back of that guy. And yeah, beautiful, vibrant red, and those gorgeous white cheeks. So yeah, a staple out on the Cumberland. And magic. These guys are one of my favourite birds too. That camouflage doesn't get much better. You'd swear that was a paperbark tree. And they're down here nearly every day. And actually got a little patch of sunshine that's come through here at the moment, which for today is great. It's been really overcast. I've got a bit of patchy cloud now at the moment, so you never know. I might even be lucky and catch a late red belly out. I know exactly where to look, so we'll get there after we film these beautiful tawny frogmouths. And as you see, they're up there, the pair of them, and this is their home. Like, I come here every day, and I know these guys are going to be either in this tree, or there's a couple of others they favour, but they're not far away from each other. So yeah, it's amazing what you can see if you spend the time. The longer you stay in the one spot, the more that you see in nature, and just watch out for any movements when you're out bird watching. You can use binoculars. Check this out. This is the last stop on the Cumbo Express on the Sunday, and a magic one. The filtered sun, it's just attracted out one of my favourite animals out on the Cumberland, the beautiful red-bellied black snake. And look at the colours, the sheen. Just timed this just right. I knew this guy had to be a chance of coming out for a late sunbake. He's been getting in that leaf litter there and hunting on the little frogs and other morsels there. So just great. And the more time that you spend down your local reserves, folks, the more that you get to know where every animal is. Well, not every animal. Like, you probably, even people like me and Les and Bluey that go down almost daily to their reserves, probably be lucky to see 60 to 70% maximum going there every day. There's still surprises after surprises, even in a small park like Narragansett, guys. Okay, let's hit the road home.
Hey guys, that was the last stop on the Cumberland Express for this Sunday, overcast Sunday. Hope you enjoyed the show today. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe to Wayne Key's Next Stop Wildlife Show, and support us guys in the Cumberland Nature Crew. Okay guys, time to get out of here. I'll catch you tomorrow on the next stop.